Hello and welcome to this video. It's both basically focused on meditations, and I wanted to just keep this short, but also in very simple terms explain how I teach people and how I've learned how to do meditation, and how generally I find a lot of people find really simple and easy to do. Meditation, just recap, meditation is a very good way of clearing your mind and allowing your thoughts to stop, going on inside here and crowding your thinking process. And it's a very good way of focusing on one thing, if that's what you want to do, or focusing on the outcome of something, or to just literally clear your brain and give yourself some space. I mean, meditation has got a lot of uses and it's got a lot of benefits for everyone, really. So, what I start people off by doing is just literally sitting down and breathing. Okay, might seem and these things are really simple, believe me. We're not going to go into sort of transcendental meditation states or anything in this video, but start with the basics. Okay, I'm sitting here, this I find comfortable. I very often will sit cross-legged, but I find that after a little while, not always the most comfortable. So find somewhere that is comfortable for you. From lying down, if you can make sure that you stay awake, to sitting in a chair or sitting on a sofa, or sitting on the floor if you find that more comfortable. Find somewhere that you don't have to think about where you are sitting. Okay, just find somewhere that's comfortable for you. And this is comfortable for me, especially when I'm doing a meditation. What I do is I literally just take people through a very simple process of breathing. Just sit quietly and just notice your breathing. And just breathe naturally. Just breathe as you would normally breathe. And while you're focusing on your breathing, notice how the air is going through your mouth or your nose and down into your lungs, past your throat, and down into your diaphragm. And with each breath in and out, just notice your diaphragm contracting and expanding, contracting and expanding. And if you find that you can't feel that, then just relax your body even further as much as you can at this time. And again, just keep breathing and just keep noticing your breath. Follow your breath in and out, in and out. And this is just a very simple technique. Now, to a lot of people, they go, well, all you're doing is breathing, okay? But believe me, what I'm actually really trying to teach people is to notice what it is they're doing. We breathe, unconsciously, with an unconscious competence. We breathe. We don't forget to breathe, but because we breathe so often, we tend to forget what it is to breathe. And so part of the meditation technique that I like to teach people is to notice things, and this is all sort of centered around mindfulness, if you like, but just the simple things about your body can bring you to a meditative state, can make you really aware of a simple thing like breathing. Now, one of the other things that tends to happen is, and it will happen with me. I've got a lot on my plate at the moment. Like most people, we're really, really busy. We live in a world that's fast moving, and lots of demands are made on us, from workload to family to children to the next door neighbour, whatever it is. There are always things going on in people's lives, and so what tends to happen is we start thinking about things, and of course when we try to quieten our mind, our brain, our conscious is then going, what about this, what about this, what about this, what about this, oh, don't forget that, don't forget to do the shopping, don't forget you need to fill the car up, don't forget the dog needs walking, or the cat needs feeding, or do you know what I mean? So we have these things going on in our head all the time. And I like to call this the noise, the everyday noise that goes on. And what tends to happen is when we try to just focus on one thing, we've got all these other things popping into our brain all the time, vying for our attention, wanting us to make decisions about things. And so the second thing to overcome really is to shut that off. As it were, to give yourself and your brain space to think. Now there are several ways of doing this. There are all sorts of ways of doing this, and it's different for everybody. One of the ways, I think, which is the most common way, is to think of your thoughts as clouds passing in a sky. And so the key thing is not to panic when you start thinking of other things. And you're trying to focus. Let's just focus on our breathing. So we're focusing on our breathing, and all of a sudden we remember that we need to do something. Then just imagine that as a cloud, and a cloud that's just moving in the sky, and it just drifts away. The cloud will come back again. It's not a problem. You're not going to forget about it, but all you're doing is you're just clearing your thoughts, and you're trying to get them to go away. There are other techniques by saying to yourself, that you're thinking. Just say one word, thinking, thoughts, interruption, and then use that word as a key word to try and dispel that thought, and to try and bring yourself back to a centre of attention again. You can also, if you find that you are constantly bombarded by thoughts, and it's very, very difficult, some people find it really difficult to just focus on one thing, there is a technique that I also like to use is about whatever element sign a person is, air, fire, earth, water, whichever one you are, you can imagine that you are engulfed by your element, and you're going to ask the power and energy of your element to take your thoughts away, and for them to be removed from you while you focus on what it is you want to do. So you can imagine that you're being, if you're a water sign, that you're being, I don't know, that you're in a stream, and the stream is taking those thoughts away from you. You could be an air element. And you can be standing in a field somewhere, and there's wind and gusts and such like, and you ask the element to take those thoughts away for you. Again, with a fire, you could be engulfed by a fire or surrounded by a fire, and you're asking the fire to actually dispel all those thoughts for you. Or you're an earth element, where you can imagine yourself either sitting or lying in some really nice overturned earth, or some grass or something like that, or on a sandy beach even, and you're asking the element of earth to take those thoughts away from you. So there's different techniques for different people, and so you can just think of a technique that would help you and try different things. That's what the key is to try different things that would work for you. Could be something completely obscure. One of the other techniques to try and clear your thoughts and to help you focus is, let's just again focus on breathing. We want to focus on breathing. Now, you can distract your brain into thinking. Very often when we meditate, we close our eyes, and all of a sudden our subconscious comes out, and our conscious is mulling things over because it thinks that this is a space for it to think. And what we want to try and do is distract it. So what we can do is open our eyes and focus on something. Focus on a candle, focus on an image, focus on an object, focus on a person, focus on a dot on a wall or something, or an image of something that you can, that's not, if you like, too interesting, but something that you can focus on to distract your conscious mind while the other part of your body and the other part of your mind is actually focusing on your breathing, as it were. So just some hints and tips there. One of the things that I find, and this is why we use things like singing bowls, you can use background music, tincture, is another way. There's all sorts of techniques that you can use if you like to try and create a space for your meditation. So performing in a very simplistic way a small ritual. So create your space. Like I have this cloth, and I have my mat, and I have my meditation cushion here, and I like to set things out in front of me. And when I start a meditation, I like to clear the air. I like to clear the air. So I might ring this several times, and what I'm imagining is not only am I focusing on the sound, but I'm also imagining that the waves of this tincture are clearing the space like a wave, like a very calm pool, and you throw a stone in it, and imagine those ripples, and the vibration is just clearing that space away for you. And if you like, you can start imagining that this is now a private space that you are in. It's like I imagine it as a sphere of space that I'm in, that nothing else is allowed in. And then I will go through the process of clearing my mind and focusing on whatever it is I need to focus on. And then you can, while you're meditating, now again, everyone is different. Some people like to have rather loud music, in comparison to my way. I like to have, if I'm going to have music, it needs to be extremely low. My ears are quite sensitive. And this is another reason why I like the singing bowl, the Tibetan singing bowl. Again, it's used as a focusing technique. It's used as a way of tuning in to the sound. Now this one is obviously, this bowl is balanced to one of the chakras, and you use this to focus your mind. And then you can make the bowl sing to create that harmonious sound constantly for you while you're meditating. And so all of these techniques are just ways of becoming focused on whatever it is you want to be focused on. I apologise if there's sound outside. It's bin collection day. So yeah, I think that's probably about all I will really want to say. I wanted to try and keep this short and sweet, really. It's just the start of trying to help to train, if you like, your mind to start thinking about one thing. And let's focus on our breathing again, And so we draw the air in and we exhale. And we notice how our chest rises and falls, and how our diaphragm expands and contracts. And with every breath, we feel more relaxed. We feel like we're in control. We feel at peace. And then I would take the people in the group, or the person that happens to be, if it's a one-to-one, through the process of then relaxing the muscles, being aware of all the parts of the body, being aware of where they're sitting, everything around them, and this can take either a very short period of time, or it can take 10-15 minutes for somebody to feel relaxed enough that they can then go through either a path working or a deep meditation of some sort to focus on whatever it is they want to do, or whatever the outcome is. That's about it, really. That's all I wanted to share today. Maybe I could do a series on different levels of meditations. I don't know whether anyone would really be interested in that kind of thing, but yeah. And so the music that I've produced, the meditation music, and again there are thousands and thousands of different types of meditation music available on YouTube and on CDs, etc. And all of these, I would just advise you to listen to something that makes you go into that meditative state easily. That's really what you're looking for. Everyone is different, and everyone tunes into different things, and it will change over time. You will notice that as you meditate more and more, you can fall into a meditative state really, really easily, and it can be triggered. For me now, this is my trigger. This is enough for me to ring this a couple of times and to focus on that sound and know that right now my mind is calm, my breathing has slowed down, my muscles are relaxed, and I can focus on what I want to focus on. And this is my space for meditation. So I hope you found this useful, and I look forward to sharing with you some more instructional videos. I don't know whether it's really an instructional video, but some more insights, as it were, into meditation techniques and the benefits of meditation. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again soon.